The aftermath of security concerns in the country has resulted into burgeoning alarming rate of numbers rather of displaced persons in the country. Looking at the plight is what we moving over as Emmanuel Oliseloka Osemeke joins us. He's a National Coordinator, Social Welfare Network Initiative. He joins us from Abuja. Good morning and thanks for joining us. The plight of displaced persons is another key issue that even the states took upon, as well as the agencies, but it would seem as if every effort is just a drop in the ocean.
Yeah, honestly, thank you for having me. We can never emphasize it.
What's the situation of the IDPs at the moment? Now we have a new cabinet, perhaps eye should be on the plight and how best to bring these dislocated families together.
Thank you. Sincerely, there is improvement so far. If you recall, I think on the 7th, 28th of October, the federal government, led by the Vice President, Presidential Committee for the Northeast Intervention, which is the Presidential Initiative for the Northeast, the Victim Support Fund, and the Safe School Initiative, and also National Emergency Management Agency. We came up with a stakeholders engagement in Maiduguri, where every player in the humanitarian sector, both international NGOs, United Nations organizations, government agencies, and of course the local NGOs like ours, were part of this engagement. And the essence was to be able to come up with a workable solution to the myriads of problems being experienced by...
Listen, I'm afraid I'll have to get off. I'll come back to you in just a moment. Let's quickly go to Kebbi State, where Chukwuma is standing by. The president is visiting Kebbi. Chukwuma, tell us what exactly is happening. What's the feel like in Kebbi at the moment?
Thank you very much, Sunrise Crew, and welcome to the outside broadcast unit of Channels Television. This day we are reaching you from Birnin Kebbi. Birnin Kebbi is the capital of Kebbi State in northern Nigeria. That's the northwestern part of Nigeria. And what we are here to do is to watch the Central Bank of Nigeria on a new program they call Anchor Borrowers Program. Anchor Borrowers Program is a program designed for Nigerian farmers. A sum of about 20 billion naira has been set aside by the central bank. If you remember very well, when the current CBN governor came on board, he promised Nigerians in his maiden speech that he's not going to just stop at the functions, the primary functions of the CBN, which is pricing and being a banker's bank and the rest, but that he was going to go beyond that he has a vision of ensuring that there is food production in Nigeria, and that he's going to do that with what he calls a vision for Nigerian farmers, with emphasis on the rice production, wheat production. And so he came up with 220 billion micro, small and medium enterprises development fund that was launched in the last administration, and today is going a little bit further to launch what he has called Anchor Borrowers Program, where about 20 billion naira has been set aside for Nigerian farmers. There are about 600,000 Nigerian farmers who are expected to benefit from this money set aside. The flag off is taking place here in Birnin Kebbi, and we're expecting that the nation's #1, President Muhammadu Buhari, will be here in Birnin Kebbi. If you would allow me to show you the stage. The stage is set. There are bags of rice, if you like, what we call pyramid of rice bags of rice, my background. And the stage is here where the president will be addressing Nigerian farmers. That is what we have come to do here in Birnin Kebbi. And so if you are a Nigerian farmer and you want to make it big, you have to pay attention to what Channels Television is doing today and strive to come up with a business plan such that we convince the Central Bank of Nigeria, and you will benefit from this loan and then become a big-time farmer in Nigeria. Now, the vision of the Central Bank governor is to ensure that Nigeria becomes one of the biggest exporters of rice, and that is what we are coming to do here. We want to believe that the president will be here about 11 o'clock and the program will kick-start. So stay tuned. You will be glad you did.
Thank you very much, Chukuma. You're having fun. Pyramid of rice spiced with great music for you. Going back to Abuja, where we have Olisa Osemeke. Very quickly, you were talking about the victim support program as well as other, platform put in place to assuage the pains of the displaced persons. Let's continue where we left off.
Yeah, thank you, Sulai. Okay, invariably, what I'm saying is that it's that stakeholders' engagement, actually, I believe, is as a result of the consistent advocacy and, of course, the shouts that we've constantly made for a proper coordination and, of course, for all humanitarian actors to be placed in their various thematic cluster for efficiency and for effectiveness.
Sorry to interrupt you, Mr. Emmanuel, but what exactly came out of that summit that you think made the difference?
Yes, it was really far-reaching because one, every player was able to sit down in a round table. Different the segment were broken into different groups, and were able to come up with a proper coordination plan, a proper plan for cooperation, and of course for communication, because it was identified that yes, the state emergency management agencies had issues with emergency responses, and then it was recommended that they be strengthened. Then of course, how NGOs can play critical roles, as much as also at the point the vice president was able to identify equally the role that the non-governmental organizations have played, but yet they've not been appreciated or even mentioned in the entire schema. So there is a schema for humanitarian action, which every player is meant and supposed to work with. And of course, a coordination plan has been put in place, and a lead organization have been clearly identified, and different working groups have been created. So what that has done is that going forward, for assessment, transparency will be better now. There will be ease of assessment, and of course evaluation will not be very difficult. So we're able to track what we are doing. So every intervention that is being given in what area, in whatever location, will be tracked, and of course you'll be able to measure it and know whether if we are making progress or if we're not making progress. And of course it will no longer be the issue of when somebody wakes up tomorrow, he decides and goes into one IDP settlement and gives them carbohydrates, another one comes in and gives them carbohydrates, whereas many of them probably would need protein, or maybe they're having nutritional issues. So based on the fact that we've been broken into work groups based on thematic focuses and interests, it is easier now to coordinate activities of both government, both international agencies, and of course the local NGOs.